What's going on, everybody? This is Dr. Chris Featherstone here for yet another episode of the Legion of Raw. I'm here with Vince Russo. Before there was Stephanie Vaquer, Vince Russo was the first one rolling the R's, ladies and gentlemen. Vince Russo. How are you, my man?
It's funny. You talk about Stephanie Vaquer, whatever her freaking name is. And I just wrote a note here. And it's just funny, bro, because depending on how far you got pushed or how far up the ladder you climbed, a big part of that was being able to cut a promo.
Yeah.
That is non-existent today. I swear to God, the fact that the belt is on this woman and the way she delivers and cuts a promo,
yeah,
like there's no way when I was working she would have ever got to that level not having the ability to cut a promo. It would have not, bro. I remember the first time I saw Chris Benoit. He wrestled a dark match against Owen Hart. This is before WCW anything. He was a kid from Canada, Benoit, right? So he wrestled a dark match. Him and Owen tore the freaking house down. I went to Pat. Pat and Bruce were booking at the time. I was the magazine guy. And I said, "Are you going to sign that guy?" And freaking Pat Patterson laughed in my face and says, "Are you kidding me? I don't care how good he is in the ring. He can't cut a promo." Chris freaking Benoit. That's why they didn't hire Benoit, because he couldn't cut a promo. And this woman is your woman's champion. Who is she going to relate to?
I think that's a really good analogy there, because it just goes to show that from a traditional Patterson style, booking philosophy, it doesn't matter how much you can run circles around, your opponent. If you don't have the total package when it comes to character as well, you just don't cut. You just don't make the cut. And that philosophy is long gone, because it's so easy to spark the interest. It's so easy to get those fans to take the bait. And it was much more of competitors earning their spot. Back in the Patterson days, you really had to have the total package. Stephanie Vaquer, stunning gal, very, wonderful in the ring, but that's the definition of a total package nowadays.
Yeah.
And that's not the same as the total package was back in the day, man. So you definitely see the difference as far as modern day wrestling is concerned.
Yep.
Let's start with, what's that again?
Big time. I mean, you had to have the package. Bro, being a good wrestler in the ring was half of it.
Par for the course.
The other half was personality and character and promo. That's why you had a guy like Savage who could absolutely, do both.
Yeah.
And like I said, she's cutting a promo, and I'm like, man, there's no casual viewer watching this show that can relate to this and would be drawn to this. But cutting a promo, being able to cut a promo does not matter anymore. And I don't care what anybody says. By the time you got to that last match and the heat and all that stuff, bro, nobody cared. And you're in Evansville, Indiana, where there's nothing going on. Like, this is probably the biggest thing all month
of the year, probably
of the year. And that last match, nothing. They could have cared less. Carrie's turning on this one and that one's turning. Who freaking cares? So now we got a big tag match. The Kabuki. Oh, I can't wait to tune in for that. Come on, bro. You gotta, bro, think about how ridiculous this is. You got a 23-minute promo opening up the show over a ring that isn't even the crown jewel anymore because it's in Australia. Think about that. Think about that.
Yeah,
a 23-minute promo over a ring that isn't even
in Saudi anymore.
Exactly. I swear to God, bro, they'll throw anything on this show. Absolutely anything, man.
I don't understand. I didn't understand that at all, actually. You had that big gaudy looking championship that didn't come back to the States. It stayed in Saudi. So you had a ring version of that gaudy championship that was a Saudi championship, but now the championship stays in Saudi, but the ring travels though.
Think about how that is so insane,
Yes.
absolutely insane.
And according to Cody, he's going to fill his fingers with those Saudi championships. And so Cody's ring stays because he won last year. So now the Saudi ring stays, the championship, the Saudi ring's on Cody, the Saudi championship stays in Saudi. Now there's a Perth ring, and I don't know if there's a Perth championship, but that championship is probably going to stay in Perth. So now they're going to rake the money off of the fans by having this crown jewel championship in every country and city every year and charge an arm and a leg. And so now you're going to have international rings all over your hand. So there you go, man. International delights when it comes to crown jewel. Yeah, this segment really just led to two champions. You said it was 23 minutes, and the payoff of this segment is a meaningless ring. That's basically
and a watch and a ring.
The watch is a part of it too. Did I miss the watch?
Yeah, he was set talk for 10 minutes about this watch Cody gave him, and I'm like, wow. So this angle is over a watch and a ring. Okay, all right, can't wait. I seriously, I can't wait, man.
Hey, Vince, last year was over an AJ bracelet, so I mean it's par for the course at this point. It's the fans marked over the bracelet. Now they're going to mark over the watch, man. That just goes to show that they can really put anything on the plate.
Anything, bro. Anything. Absolutely anything, man.
Yep. We get Penta and Roar Raiders defeating New Day and Grayson Waller. I guess this is the payoff for the several-week nothing feud here.
It just cracks me up, bro, because what was the point of putting the tag belts on the Viking Raiders for a month? What was the point of that? We're right back where we started, where they mean absolutely zero and nothing.
Along with that, Vince, what was the point of turning the New Day heel and on Big E? There was zero.
What is the point of making people boo Jey Uso? Can somebody explain that to me? He's lifting up kids in the crowd. Everybody's yeeting. We're selling yeet shirts. He's the number one merch. And now you've literally got the fans booing him.
Yeah. Vince, if I knew, I'd tell you, but I don't know. So that's where we're at right now. We get the Stephanie Vaquer, in-ring interview by Adam Pearce, introduced by Adam Pearce, and she's cutting a promo, acknowledging her father. Then she starts to speak in her native tongue. And
wait a minute. As much as I want to get out of here, I can't let you go without this. I can't let you go, bro. Because we get JD in the clubhouse, jury duty in the clubhouse. Then we get the Lyra Velcro Bayley backstage. Did you see this?
Lyra. Oh yeah. I did see that. Yeah, I didn't even write it down, but I saw it.
I would love to know. So where are you going with this? Okay, so Bayley is Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Okay, we got it. So where does that go? Where are we going with that?
Vince, I said the same thing last week, man. What's the payoff to this? I don't understand it. Okay, yes, she's Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. So what?
And she's pushing down Velcro, and they're booing Bayley.
Yeah, exactly. You know what's so funny about this, though? I think that both of us, because the whole turning gimmick into gimmickades, and we haven't done that in a while, of putting over a gimmick and making it more exciting than the actual display of the gimmick. But I think with the Bayley thing, there could be a lot of fun in this because it just goes to show, and I'm wondering if this is the case. The WWE has a way of showing the fans right in front of their face how much they have their everything and have their balls in their hands basically, and they can just control them at their will, whatever they want to do. You want to boo, you want to cheer, you want to boo, you want to cheer, you want to boo, you want to cheer. And I think that this gimmick is showing the fans how much the industry, how much the WWE has psychological control over them, and how much they're marks, and how much they will really buy into anything that's presented. So if Bayley's if she goes into the match as a babyface, the fans will cheer. At the end of the match, the fans will boo. Next week, she'll pretend she didn't know any of that. They'll cheer. Then at the end of the match, she'll boo. That just makes the fans look like weirdos. You know what I mean? That's
Chris,
the thing.
I swear to God, I'm watching. You got to understand something, man. People may not believe this. Chris, I really try to understand from a creative level. I really do. So I'm looking at this Bayley thing. Okay. So she cut the last we saw last week, she cuts a promo on Lyra. Now she sees Lyra and she's hugging Lyra. And the end of this is she pushes Lyra down. So the next time we see them together, she's going to be that's what WWE does. She's going to be. So I'm saying to myself, is this what Triple H, when he talks about we're the best storytellers in television, is this really Triple H's idea of a story? And if it is, what's the story? I don't. What is the story? She's got a split personality now, so she snapped out of nowhere. Like I don't even know how that happened. So now she's got a split personality. 1 week hug, next week heat, next week hug, next week heat.
Yeah.
Chris, where is the story in that?
There's none. And to your point of how did it even happen? It literally happened when she started sitting down on a chair. She didn't get hurt. Like, to me, it would have made more sense if she would have got her head hit some way. You know what I mean? Like if somehow she would have helped Lyra, or she would have been in a match with Lyra and she would have like hit her head on the pole and got it really severely concussed, and now she's having hallucinations, things like that. She's having concussion symptoms. That would have made more sense. And that could have spanned into, because I got the TBI, the traumatic brain injury, that's causing psychological and neurological symptoms. But no, you couldn't even give us that much to send us into this, split personality gimmick. It was just simply, I'm sitting down, now I have a split personality. So again, those nuances matter, but they don't have the time for the nuances because they keep trying to create content over and over and over again. So they don't have the time for it, unfortunately. And so we get to Cody talking to Jey Uso in the locker room. Jey looks at the WWE Championship. We have before that we had Cody and Jimmy talking the backstage, and Cody's the therapist now. So we got Cody as a therapist, and we got Jey as looking at the championship and being distracted by that as Cody is talking. Now, if I'm not mistaken, didn't Randy Orton do that probably, I don't know, a year or so ago? And there's no payoff from that of him looking at the championship.
And bro, like they may be turning Jey heel just because they have nobody to wrestle Cody. I mean, that would be the only reason they didn't build, because when Cody went over on Lollapalooza, I was like, okay, and who's his next opponent? That they don't make. Chris, I swear, man, I hate to always go back, but I review the Attitude Era every two weeks. Bro, we went so out of our way to protect everybody. And bro, back then during the Attitude Era, bro, those people didn't care about clean finishes. You gave them a clean finish at the pay-per-view.
That's right.
The pay-per-view was the payoff where you gave them the wrestling match with the clean finish.
Yeah.
On the episodic television, which you always talk about, it was other people getting involved in matches and countouts that kept the story going, and that progressed the story. So even if a heel lost, we made sure the heel was covered. We made sure the heel had an out or an excuse. Bro, we just had a Billy Gunn against the Big Show. Now, I know Big Show's got to go over. I don't remember here what we did. I know Big Show's got to go over. But I know we're not beating Mr. Ass Clean 1, 2, 3. I know we're not doing that because it'll kill him. So during the match, here comes Road Dogg, who he's in a feud with. Him and Road Dogg wind up getting into it, which causes Billy to get counted out. Road Dogg rolls Billy back in the ring and Giant chokeslams him. But now Billy's protected. Billy did not get chokeslammed and beat 1, 2, 3. So I'm looking at this Lollapalooza and I'm like, okay, Cena gets destroyed by Brock. Great for Brock. What did that do for Cena? Then we get to the main. Cody over Drew. Great for Cody. What does that do? But by just this obsession with clean finishes in fake wrestling matches. This is why, bro, nobody's over. How many times are you going to beat Drew McIntyre until he means absolutely nothing, bro?
Yeah. 100% agree. I mean, we've talked about that ad nauseum, Vince, as far as just, Drew having this, what do you call it? Bulletproof. Yeah.
Him and Chelsea Green. Chelsea Green, bro.
Status. Yeah. He's at this really bad status of, we'll just throw him in the main, because he has the look of someone who can be a really big foe against Cody. But at the end of the day, though, this is ESPN debut. We want Cody to look good. And it's like, why? Wouldn't you want a title change? Wouldn't you want Drew to win the title so that could be, that could cause intrigue for these ESPN viewers to see what Cody does, on an episode of SmackDown? Why does everything have to be cut? What happened to the episodic feel? It's not an episodic feel if there's a climax to every single week of a show. Yep. What we see in shows are cliffhangers. Every single week on an episodic show, there's a cliffhanger, not a conclusion for every week.
You know what I just saw that was brilliant, and I forgot we even did it. I swear to God, I forgot we even did it. But this is the week where Taker says the greater power is coming, right? So they get heat on Austin at the end of the show. They tie him up in the ropes. The lights go out, and here comes the higher power.
Yeah.
Taker goes to the ring, drops to one knee, does this. The higher power gets
in the purple robe.
The purple robe, bro. Yeah. The higher power gets in the ring. Austin's tied up in the ropes. The higher power reveals himself to Austin, but not the television audience.
Those little nuances.
Austin sells it, and we go off the air hot.
Oh, I love it.
And I'm like, what? Yeah. Why is it so hard for you guys to come up with something like that? That's How do you miss the following week? There is no way in the world you're missing the following week.
Right. That's stuff like that, man. That's a cliffhanger right there. If you want an example of a cliffhanger, that right there, what you explain, that's it, man. We don't get that. We get
JR selling the look on Austin's face. It looked like Austin just stared death right in the eye, and they go off hot. And I'm like, oh my God,
that's
bro.
Good, man. That's good. But now we don't have those hot closes at all. We had
we had the hot finish tonight. We had that hot.
Oh,
finish.
but with the Kabuki Warriors, the reluctant Kyrie Cena. Yes. We could compare that to the higher power reveal. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
We have Rusev and JD McDonough. Rusev winning
and again, I'm asking myself this question. So Rusev is after Dom. Dom is afraid of Rusev. So Dom is getting heat on McDonough, and Dominic's not getting involved because he's afraid of Rusev. So Finn Balor gets involved instead.
Yeah.
And the fact that Rusev is twice the size of Finn Balor and didn't go after him, that's a story for another time. But again, I'm watching this and I'm like, does Triple H, is this a story to Triple H that Dominic didn't do anything because he's afraid of Rusev? Is in Triple H's mind, is that a story?
Yes, it is a story because it lasts more than 1 week, and in their minds, creatively, this is the match, and this is what we're going to throw together before the match. And so it's like we're not having this angle. See, the thing is, the WWE looks at things nowadays from a match perspective, not from a story perspective. So what they do is they conflate the match with the lead up to the match. Just because it's a lead up to the match doesn't mean it's a story.
Right.
And we don't see that nowadays. We see stories as 2-3 week lead ups to matches. That's what we see. And so in their minds nowadays, the story is, the fans are getting into it. The internet's commenting about it. There's millions of YouTube views about it. So that all together is the pitch of, this is the reason why this is a good story. If it hits 50 million views on YouTube, it's a good story.
Which was the same thing with Io and Asuka and Carrie. What is the story? Like, what is the story?
There's none. I mean, again, like I said, the match is, we want Rhea to shine in Perth. So therefore, Rhea and Io versus Kabuki Warriors. Basically, we get weeks and weeks of Rhea being backstage to lead into the match. So that's not a story. It's just weeks of setup for the match, and that's where we're at right now. But they consider that a story, though. They consider that a story. We have LA Knight cutting a promo backstage, and then we get the Jey Uso defeating LA Knight. What's your take on that, my man?
Yeah, and the fans were booing Jey Uso when he speared LA Knight, and again, like I said, bro, the fact that, do they not have an opponent for Cody, and is that the reason why? So because you didn't book properly and you didn't have an opponent set up for Cody, all that time and energy you put into yeeting and the entrances and the little kids and the merch and out in the hallway, all that is going to be erased because we don't have an opponent for Cody.
Right. What's Aleister Black doing on SmackDown? How come they couldn't use him to be an opponent for Cody?
He just keeps going back and forth with Damian Priest.
Really?
Yeah.
That's it?
That's it.
Why couldn't Aleister Black be a formidable opponent for Cody? If he's just doing filler feuds, at least give Aleister Black an opportunity to be in the world title picture. Wouldn't that, even if he lost the match, wouldn't that help him elevate his status instead of being this nothing burger of a feud with Damian Priest? Both of them felt like they fell off the face of the earth.
Absolutely.
And
They're in the whatchamacallit, who was Sheamus doing that with every week for 6 weeks?
Him and Pete Dunne.
Yeah, Pete, and then they did it again. Was it Rusev?
Yeah, him and Rusev.
Yeah, that's what they're doing with Aleister Black. It's back and forth. That's exactly what they're doing. The same exact thing. Yep.
No payoff, just back and forth with him and Priest.
Yeah.
Yeah, they dropped the ball on that, man. They dropped the ball on Black because I really think because people like Black, and I think him as a how did he even become heel?
I don't know, bro.
Didn't he have something with Raw Truth? I saw it on socials. Like he just started beefing with Truth or something like that. Wow.
I can't even remember.
Yeah. Well, regardless of how he turned heel, it was odd. It wasn't a good turn. And now since he's heel, there is an opportunity to be in the world title picture. Vince, help me understand this. Why do you bring somebody back to keep them under your thumb? Is that a ego thing from a company perspective?
Well, it's it's again, bro. You bring up Alistair Bell, you bring up Alistair Black, bro. What if they would have brought Rusev back and he would have went on a run up until now? That would have definitely been a formidable opponent for Cody Rhodes. But you got Rusev with Dominic Mysterio.
Heel versus heel.
Right. I mean, all you had to do was give him win after win after win after win. God forbid you bring Lana back. That's a tailor-made opponent for Cody.
Yeah, agreed. I agree. I think that Rusev would have been it, but you've made Rusev is like the Raw's version of Aleister Black. You know what I mean? Just in the mid card, hyped return, seemed like they were, had the rockets on them, and just like that, there was a hook on the ground of their rockets, and as soon as they felt like they were going, yanked, the rockets just yanked off of them. And yeah, Rusev is having a title feud right now. But come on, man. I mean, like, why does it matter? Say if Rusev would win the Intercontinental Championship, why would it even matter with how they've been booking the Intercontinental Championship at this point? It doesn't even mean anything. You know what I mean? Like, and so if the Ultimate Warrior won the Intercontinental Championship and, just an enhancement talent had it, or someone on the mid-level that weren't being pushed, it wouldn't mean anything. But the Honky Tonk Man is still, to this day, the longest reigning Intercontinental. Well, Gunther beat him. But before Gunther, he was the longest reigning. No, wait a minute. Oh, yeah. Gunther had 600 and some days. And Honky Tonk Man like 400 or some days. So for 25 years, at least, more than that, he was the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion. The person who broke that was the person who they saw money in, and that was the Ultimate Warrior, and he did it in seconds. Now, that doesn't even mean those title changes. Like back in the day, and you even mentioned this as far as just the nuances in the booking. Okay, we want to build a star that people don't know too much about, have him come out, run out, shake the ropes, and beat the reigning Intercontinental Champion in a few seconds. Okay, well, that's going to turn some heads and give him some interest. Now, when it comes to title changes, it doesn't even matter. It doesn't push anymore.
You've got two world champions. Neither one of them are in an angle. They're both fighting over a ring.
Exactly.
Do you know how bad? Like, that is so off kilter. Like, everything is wrong with that you've got both titles. Neither title means anything. Neither of these guys are in a feud with anybody, but they're wrestling over a ring in another country.
You know what's interesting about that, Vince? It seems as if that's one of the reasons why they don't spend a lot of time marketing the cards before they sell the tickets. Because nowadays, the only thing that they have to do is just announce it. They'll sell the tickets, and then they'll throw the card at you. But before, you had like the ticket was brought. The ticket was bought based on the card. What did the card look like? So therefore, especially pay-per-view wise, that's why go-home shows meant so much, because it was that last-ditch effort, and you would know this more than anybody. It was that last-ditch effort to bring some people in to buy that pay-per-view for that, that following Sunday. Okay, yeah, that cliffhanger is really good, and I know it's going to be paid off on Sunday. Okay, I as a consumer, that hooked me several times. Go home shows hooked me several times as a high schooler with a job at 16, 17 years old, and I was like, ooh, yeah, I'll spend the $30. I can't get the
Oh
pay-per-view
yeah.
because that's what hooked you. Now, because they're so embedded in their niche, it doesn't matter what the card is. It's all about FOMO, and I talked about that on Pancakes and Power Slams. It's all about that FOMO philosophy, and with the type of fans that you're dealing with, they don't want to miss out. So if it's in their city,
What's
they're going to
FOMO?
buy it.
What's FOMO?
Fear of missing out.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's that FOMO mentality. And so what happens is, okay, it's in my city. I'm a wrestling fan. I'm a hardcore wrestling fan, not a casual one, because they're not doing the go home shows for the casuals anymore. It's in my city. I don't want to miss out. So therefore, I'm going to buy the ticket. Oh, okay. Well, by the way, we're going to slap this crown jewel championship after the promotion of get your ticket, and then we'll give you the card after that. So that's such a reverse philosophy than what we saw for several decades before.
Bro, I remember, Chris, when Savage and Steamboat had that classic at WrestleMania 3.
Yeah.
Right after that match, bro, they did Savage and Steamboat in a cage everywhere. And I had to go to that. I was a Savage guy. I had to go to that. But that's what happened. They took advantage of how great that match was. They had heat on both of these guys, put them in a cage, and that's what they advertised, and that's how they sold tickets.
Nice. Yeah, for sure. That's a good example there. We have Becky Lynch complaining to Seth Rollins backstage. There wasn't anything that came out of that, right? She didn't get.
No, she said, I'm going to go take matters in my own hands, and then we never saw her again. No.
Yeah.
I listen, I was happy about this because at least Bayley wasn't trying to be a comedian. I mean, at least Becky wasn't trying to be a comedian. This, she was being serious, and I'm like, okay, good. Thank God, rather than trying to be a comedian. So that was I thought she did good in that performance.
So we're going to get her and AJ for the title, probably.
I would assume. I would guess.
Yeah. We have Io Sky talking to Rhea Ripley backstage. So they tried to interweave the payoff that we saw at the end of the night. They did it throughout the show. So
yeah.
Maxine Dupree talking to Adam Pearce, and then AJ Styles and Dragon Lee talking to him. What's the point of the Maxine Dupree spot here, you think?
I have no idea. Bro, I swear to God, the best thing on this show was the El Grande Americano vignette. Did you see that? That's the best thing on the show, but far and away, nothing came close to that. That was the absolute best thing on the show.
So it's a triad now, right? It's a faction, the Los Americanos.
Yeah, well, even AJ goes to PS. Maybe you need to think about it before you sign another El Grande. So that's the gimmick. Like Pierce keeps signing El Grande Americanos. Like that's
a story, Vince. That's a story. That's one of the best stories that we've seen so far.
I can't imagine, bro. I watch some of this stuff and I just think of me sitting at that living room table pitching this stuff to Vince.
Yeah.
He would look at me, bro, like I had 10 freaking heads, man.
Wow.
I can't imagine pitching him what I see on this show.
Yeah. We get the main Rhea defeating Asuka. Kyrie was reluctant of attacking Rhea. Then finally she goes for the back fist, the spinning back fist. Rhea stops. Asuka butt bumps, hip attacks Kyrie, and then Rhea does the roll up. You have Asuka in full heel mode at this point now, giving Rhea the mist. Kyrie reluctantly attacks her. EO tries to stop. Of Of course, something was going to happen there. Hug, and then the Kabuki Warriors attack Io. And this is the main. This was the last segment of the night because clearly they're going to set this up for Rhea to have her moment in Australia.
Yeah. I love to, bro. I love the way in 2025 we're still referring to it as the poison mist.
The poison mist.
Can we not call it the blinding mist, bro? Because why is it poison getting spit in your eye? Like, can we just not call it the blinding mist? Like, seriously, poison.
She has poison. It's causing her eyes to be. And that's the thing, man. I just think that nuances matter in pro wrestling, and
they mean everything, Chris. They mean everything.
Why are you going to come back the next week after getting poison mist? If you really want to book this as poison mist, you need to be wearing eye patches, JYD, style. Like you need to go back to Mid-South JYD style and start wearing eye patches for several weeks.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And play the eye patch gimmick, start wearing shades, that Rhea starts wearing shades that helps her with the poison and help her heal the poison mist. And then what you do is you have Asuka start to do, her kabuki stuff and thinking that Rhea's blinded, turn around. She takes the eyeglasses off, takes the patches off, and then she turns around with her seeing again. That's the type of stuff that you got to do. That's the type of stuff that's going to carry over for week after week instead of just seeing backstage segments every single week with Rhea Ripley. So.
Yeah. Yep. I agree.
We have, let's see here, these super chats. We got Awesome Sauce. $5. So many guys went overboard with the baby oil tonight. I thought Dave was You said that out to me, ladies and gentlemen. Awesome Sauce. Awesome Sauce, $5. Jay's ring gear is so bad. Tank top and khakis. That's how college kids dress when they go to 7-Eleven for processed nachos and Shack soda. Wow. Indeed. We got Traffic Jam, $2. Cody versus Seth for Crown Jewels. What did I miss? Yawn. What did you tell? We're going to do a segment from now on, Vince. What did I miss? So for those who come and just simply watch this show, Vince Russo, tell Traffic Jam what he missed in the show.
You missed the El Grande Americano package, bro. That's what you missed. That's what you missed in 2.5 hours. That's it.
There you go. We got Instagram. Hello, Mr. Russo. How are you doing?
I am doing well. How are you doing, my friend?
All right. We get Deacon Frost. Cody's a therapist now. What's his gimmick? Talking. He's talking. You know what I found interesting about that? Cody was trying to talk down Jey, and Jimmy is literally his twin brother.
Right.
So if his twin brother, his family over everything.
Right.
If his twin brother couldn't talk him down, who was this random, wrestling associate in the locker room? Oh, I got it. Okay, twin brother, I got this. I'm going to talk him down. Come on, make it make sense, man. We got Traffic Jam, $2. Stephanie V needs a manager to have a title run. I was thinking about that, Vince. I think she needs a mouthpiece.
She's terrible on the mic. Awful.
We have PHG, Jay about to go heel, but still come out yeet and shake my head. Yeah, what will happen if he turns heel? What happens to his merch? What happens to the yeet? What happens to the kids? What do you do with that, Vince?
Well, see, bro, that's why I think they are going to turn him heel just to give Cody an opponent, and then after that, I think they're going to just turn him right back. Yeah, they have no opponents for their champion.
Wow, that's sad. We have Zoot Bear, $20. One of the worst and lamest endings to a Raw I ever seen. Terrible acting too. Also, WWE really doing Crown Jewel title match again? Who cares? Literally an excuse for no stories, doing fake champ versus champ brand warfare trash. Yeah, I think that's a good point there. I always thought I don't understand why for years WWE has this brand competition stuff. I remember when they used to have the pay-per-view called Bragging Rights. I don't know if you were watching at that time, but it was one of the worst concepts I've ever seen in pro wrestling. You literally just have people from each brand going against each other. It was just it was just nothing to it. And then they started to infiltrate the Survivor Series pay-per-views with just simply having the champions go against each other. Yeah. I thought that was a terrible idea. What's the whole point of this Survivor Series if you're literally just having champions go against each other? There's nothing to it. After this pay-per-view, nothing happens after this pay-per-view about the pay-per-view. And I think that's just horrible booking. Yeah. And it's such a waste of time to use a Big Four pay-per-view that way. I thought that was terrible. Yeah. You have Zubair, $2. Thoughts on ESPN upset about Wrestlepalooza?
Yeah, they graded it like a C+ or something.
Yeah, well,
again, bro, Triple H going out there promising surprises.
Yeah.
Bro, if people are on the fence about whether or not they want to buy the app, and then Triple H, people think right away, The Rock's going to be on there. And now they lay down the $30 and we find out the surprises are Paul Heyman and Stephanie McMahon is in. Why are you promising something you're not delivering on, bro?
True. What's interesting about that? I was looking at, McAfee. I saw a clip of McAfee. I always watch College Game Day. I'm a huge college football fan. And so McAfee's putting it over, and then you had Stephen A., interviewing Triple H. And so you could tell, especially the Stephen A's of this world. I mean, his number one wrestler was Goldberg, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm a Goldberg fan. He's in my top probably 15. But at the same time, you still see those ESPN, that audience of ESPN, they're looking for the Goldbergs, the Hogans, like they have that Hogan old school wrestling mentality of characters. They don't care about Stephanie Vaquer. They don't care about Io Sky. They don't care about Dominic Mysterio because none of them fit into the wrestler, character-driven, going back to the old school type of deal. So many of those adults in that ESPN culture, I bet you 80% of them watched wrestling when they were a kid and stopped.
Oh, yeah.
And oftentimes the cutoff is between the Attitude Era and Ruthless Aggression. Right there, right in that sensitive window right there. That's oftentimes where the cutoff is. Post-Rock, post-Austin, that era. And it's like, yes, you missed out on Brock and Cena. They were in Orton. They were like the advents of the Ruthless Aggression. Batista was too. But during that time, it still wasn't very character-driven as much as the Attitude Era. And so because they didn't really see wrestling just to watch wrestling. They saw wrestling to watch characters.
Yeah.
And now they don't see that. And so you have to bring that back. You have to pull ESPN back that way. You can't pull them back by having Cody Rhodes do a clean win against Drew McIntyre. There's nothing episodic about that. There's nothing storyline about that.
They watched wrestling to be entertained by entertainers.
Bingo.
They did not watch wrestling for a match that they know was fake.
Exactly. 100%.
None of them did.
Absolutely. No, they didn't. They didn't. They watch wrestling to see this.
Yes.
They watch wrestling to see the poses. So they can emulate that. They can't watch a match that's 20 minutes long and they can't emulate that. They can't pull from that. They can pull from the poses. They can pull from the catchphrases. That causes them to feel like they're one with the character. If they're watching the 20-minute match, man, there's nothing that's connecting them from a casual perspective. We have Instagram, $5. What was your mindset moving forward after Ambassador Beach 2000 pay-per-view? Thanks in advance.
God, I just wanted to be done, to be honest with you, man. I knew the company was up for sale and was being sold, and I just wanted it to be done, to be honest with you. I just wanted it to be over.
Sure. We have PHG 999. What's the difference between a mark and a fan? I have a friend who watches the Pirate games, doesn't buy merch or go to games. Is he a mark or a fan? Can you be a WWE fan without being a mark? I don't know. What do you think, Vince?
I really consider you a mark when somewhere along the lines you've convinced yourself that this is real.
It's real.
That at that point you're a mark. When you are obsessed by this 24/7, you are a mark. I'm sure, Penguins, I don't want to talk for your friend, but is he obsessed with the Pirates 24/7? Is he online 24/7 talking about the Pirates? And not only that, though, but baseball is actually real. Wrestling is not. But my God, bro, if you listen to the podcast that we listen to, you would believe that these people think wrestling is real. If you just listen to their shows, you would think that they think it's real.
Yeah, I'm an Ohio State fanatic. I have jerseys, I have shirts, I have caps. I listen to sports radio all the time. I listen to YouTube videos about college football, but not 1 second of my entire life do I dress as like any wrestler, any Ohio State player at all. I don't do that. Neither do I spend the time thinking I'm one of the players.
Yeah,
I don't do that. Neither do I cheer when Ohio State is losing. Neither do I spend the time trying to justify a bad game from Ohio State. That makes a huge difference between a fan and a mark. Absolutely. I would be a mark if I sat there and justified every single move that Ohio State did. No, I am a fan. I'm going to rip you a new one if you didn't play to the expectations of the cap that was spent to bring these people to NIL. If you're playing underneath that, you're going to get scalded by me as a fan because I know better. I expect better. So I'm going to call you out on it. But this pro wrestling fan culture, they don't do that. They don't call them out on stuff. Yeah. We have Chocolate Jam, $2. All Out was better than Wrestlepalooza. I didn't know too much about All Out. I did see the homage of Edge doing with John Cena, which was respectful. Other than that, don't know too much about that. Did you hear anything about All Out from the socials at all?
Not really. I guess Beth Phoenix now is over there. I guess that's it.
Yeah. Gotcha. Instagram, $2. All Out better than LOL Palooza. There you go. Two more people. Another person thought that All Out was better. We have Zubair, $5. Russo, if Bret Hart was still in WWF in 1999, would he been a choice for the higher power? Phil would have worked with this story. Feel like he would have worked with the story.
I don't think that would have been a good role for Bret. I don't see Bret now. I tell you who would have been great in that role would have been freaking Jake Roberts. But he was so screwed up at the time, man.
I was literally about to say his name. I was going to say, was Jake Roberts ever considered?
He was such a mess at that point in time.
Really?
Chris. Oh really? God, yeah.
Other than Christopher Daniels, were there any other discussions of any other names?
No, not really. No.
Really?
Yeah.
So it's Chris Daniels. Vince said no, and it became him. He said,
"Yeah, we pivoted right to Vince." Yep.
Wow. That's interesting. And he wasn't reluctant. He said, just give it to me and I'll do it. Wow. Yep. What was the point of the higher power gimmick in the first place? Like, what was when you first pitched this, what was your thought process of how this was going to pan out?
Just that there was like even a higher, more evil, sinister power than Taker. That was like, not really a wrestling presence, but like a real evil mind, like a James Mitchell, or somebody like that. Yeah.
Okay. So he would have done more like, I don't know how much you watched the WCW back in the day when they used to when they had the Dungeon of Doom.
Yeah, with Sullivan.
Yeah, he was the Taskmaster, but then you had Iakea. You had
Yeah.
And so Iakea was the guy that was just he was the one, he was the mastermind behind all of it. Like Sullivan,
Yeah.
And then Sullivan would go. He was the taskmaster, and so he would. Iakea would send him the task to go and defeat and have their evil schemes to defeat the power of Hulkamania. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that was it seems like, from what I'm understanding, that was the higher power, was going to be that Iakea style figure.
Yeah. More of a mind, more of a mind pulling the strings. Yeah.
Do you think that would have catapulted Daniel's career?
Bro, I got to be honest with you. When I look back now, and even just watching this last episode, that was a terrible idea on my part. It would have. Well, you got to understand one thing though, bro. Like I never even met Chris Daniels up until that point. Okay. Having gotten to know Chris Daniels over the years, oh my God, that would have been terrible.
What other names do you think would have worked other than Roberts in that role?
God, bro, I don't know, man.
That had minds for the business in that psychologically devious way that could cut a promo too. I mean, Roberts would have been so perfect.
Yeah, it would have been great. He would have been great, but he was really in bad shape around then.
Yeah. Let's see. We have SJ plays $2. This pay-per-view is in like 2 weeks. Way too many of these. Yeah, I talked about that before last week. I think it was. Of just they don't have a lot of time. They don't have time to work with when it comes to these pay-per-views. It's in 3 weeks, man. We have SJ plays $5. Can't wait to hear the Asuka Kyrie promo on why they did what they did. I'm sure it will be a riveting explanation that we can all understand.
Yeah.
Why do we care about that, Vince?
We don't. Nobody cares about that, bro. Nobody cares. Go back. You guys think I'm kidding? Go back and listen to the crowd reaction.
Yeah, that's a good point there. SJ $5. McAfee left Palooza after the third match. Said, "Screw it to the audience. It's not worth me staying. Found that odd. Probably left obligated because Indiana."
Yeah, probably so. Bro, there's so much stuff going on behind the scenes, guys, that we don't have a clue. Like, my God, bro, do you know how huge the ESPN relationship is? Perhaps the biggest relationship they've ever had. If The Rock was going to be at any premiere show, it was going to be this one. Rock was at the premiere on Fox. Yeah. Rock was on the premiere of Netflix. This is huge. And Rock's a sports guy.
Yeah.
The fact that he was not a part of this speaks volumes.
Yeah, man, that really says a lot. And how does that play into him being the chairman of the board? I mean, or not him being in the board, the executive role on the board of TKO.
Bro, I'm telling you, I just think I still think there is a master plan going on. I think Ari and Vince have been in on it from day one. I think, Rock is an Ari guy. I think this is why Triple H puts himself all over everything to kind of paint the picture that he's irreplaceable, and they'd never. It's ridiculous, the stuff that he's on, bro. It's so self-serving and overbearing that he's got to be doing it for a reason.
Yeah. We have SJ. You get a cha-ching, man. You just gave us a big series of donations here. Thank you.
Man. Thank you.
Between Vaquero, Io, Asuka, and Cena, I can't understand a word these beasts are saying.
Well, that's putting it bluntly.
Yes, indeed. Yes,
Yeah.
indeed.
Yeah.
We got Danimal 199. What letter grade would you give Raw tonight?
Oh God, bro. I'll give it a D because of the yellow Americano package.
There you go, man. Good stuff. We have Oz, new member. Thank you very much. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Oz.
We have Hamp, Cono 499. Conspiracy theory, Vince. Maybe you already said this, but Triple H in the Hall of Fame last year. Now Steph, perhaps King of Pops, I expecting to be eventually fired.
I just think they are positioning themselves as irreplaceable. And let me tell you something. Everybody can be replaced, man. If Vince McMahon can be replaced, anybody can be replaced.
Do you think Vince feels anything that Triple H and Stephanie are in the Hall of Fame before him, and neither of those decisions were his?
Oh yeah, bro. Even too, bro. Did you know that Triple H brought his daughters, Vince's grandchildren, to Vince's birthday party? Mm-hmm. Stephanie was not there. What is that? That speaks volumes. That's Triple H bringing the grandkids because you don't want to get your grandkids involved in this with that's their grandfather. So we've got to bring the grandkids. But for Stephanie to not go, I mean, that tells you everything you need to know right there.
We got to get that verified because there was someone who said that they were there and Steph was there. I know that Triple H wasn't there.
She was not. Triple H brought the girls.
You brought the girls?
Yes.
Let's see here. We have Rollin 499. WWE changed their signature intro. Previous intro lasted 5 years. And the last two wrestlers on the screen were Roman and Austin. Now it's only The Rock. Interesting. I wonder why they did that.
I don't even pay attention to that. I fast forward through the intro.
And after all of that, Rock no showing.
Yeah.
It's they have him and give him tributes. When they would do those tribute things in the intros, when someone would leave the company, they would pull them off.
Yeah.
So I wonder if them keeping Raw is like him keeping Rock is like, well, you can't afford to pull me off because I'm an executive of the board, pal. So you can't really do that. So
yeah.
All right, Vince Russo, let them know where to find you, my brother.
Yeah, guys, you want to try out the brand. If you've never been a member, go to patreon.com/Russo TWC and get a free week. It will cost you absolutely zero.
Wonderful. Be sure to hit up Pancakes and Papa Sam's, subscribe. It's been always enjoyed doing those classes. It's really cool. I'm going to talk about the C grade of Wrestlepalooza when they come. I'm going to read the ESPN article and just break it down. Of course, I psychoanalyze it every single week, and we're going to have a great time. This guy right here is Vince Russo. I am Dr. Chris. This is Legion of Raw. Have a good night, everybody. So long.